the podcast. My name is Allclick. This is 2 guys and 3 movies. But like 7-Eleven, we are willing to change here at the show. This is just 1 guy and 2 movies on this episode. And I wanted to review a couple of recent movies that came out. The first one, The Expendables, and the second one, Devil. So the first movie is The Expendables with Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Jet Li, Mickey Rourke, a whole bunch of other action stars. And it's all about, well, it's difficult to know what it's about. Supposedly a group of highly trained mercenaries are hired by CIA to help take out a foreign drug cartel, I suppose. And while the mercenaries are there, Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham go ahead early to see what's going on and scope out the situation, and end up finding out that the guy running the whole operation's daughter is attractive and obviously in need of rescuing. So Sylvester Stallone ends up getting personally invested, and even though he decides the mission is not going to happen, he decides to go back in to save her, and of course all his buddies aren't going to let him down and have to tag along for the ride as well. It's a difficult movie to describe because it's a difficult movie to watch. It kind of feels like Sylvester Stallone had written 50 scenes on the back of some post-it notes and then threw them into the air, and then wherever they fell was the order he was going to film the movie in. Just by reading the trivia from IMDb, you can tell that there were multiple rewrites of scenes, including one with Brittany Murphy, who was then cut out the film completely. Multiple different actors wanted for different roles. It seemed like it was put together at the last minute, and it really shows. It's not one of those movies you want to watch unless you really love action movies, and you woke up this morning thinking, man, if I don't see 3 massive explosions today, I'm just going to go out of my mind. In that case, rush down to your video store, grab the movie, stick it in, and you'll be more than satisfied. If you're a Sylvester Stallone fan, I guess you may also want to check it out. He does a pretty decent job of basically being himself. And if any of you have received this through Netflix, or somebody else decides to buy this or rent this for you, then it's at least worth watching the first 15-20 minutes for the only redeemable scene in the whole thing, with Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger, which also comprised about 75% of the trailer. That's worth watching just to see these guys having some fun. It's kind of humorous. They make references to each of their previous movies and personal lives. But then once those guys are out of the picture, it's really just a complete mess of a movie. I mean, I love action movies, but this was pushing it even for me. So, well worth going out of your way not to rent. The other movie that I saw this week was Devil. I had some interest in going to see this at the theater, despite hearing a lot of bad press about M. Night. Especially after his last movie, The Last Airbender, was completely panned by critics and fans. I know a lot of people weren't willing to give M. Night another chance. Now, with this movie, he was the writer of the original story, not the screenplay. And I believe he was one of the producers, but he was not the director. The director is actually the same guy that did the movie Quarantine, which is well worth checking out, based on a French movie called Rec, which is also worth checking out. And so Devil is all about 5 different people who end up in an elevator. And it gets stuck, and one by one, they start getting killed off. that's not too much of a spoiler because that happens pretty soon in the movie. But so these guys are trapped, and the rest of the movie focuses on a Philadelphia detective trying to figure out who these people are in the elevator and who the murderer is and what exactly is going on. And I have to say, I really enjoyed this film. It was a big surprise to me that I was going to like it so much. But I went in with an open mind and came out pleasantly surprised. This movie has some really redeeming features. I would say that it builds suspense. It tackles the supernatural without being too over the top or weird or just cheesy. And you find yourself really getting engaged in what is going on. I think what I really liked about it was that it avoided some typical elevator cliches, such as elevator gets stuck and when they press the call button, there's nobody there, or it's broken, or there's nobody in the whole building. In this, the button does work, and there's actually a security camera filming them the entire time. So as soon as they're stuck, we know there's a problem, and people outside know there's a problem. And that almost is where most of the suspense comes from, is that they're in this very busy office building with people around them who know that they're stuck, but there's still nothing that seems to work to help them. It's well worth checking out. I really enjoyed it, even if you have given up on M. Night. I would say go into this with an open mind, and if you're looking for a very nicely written thriller suspense mystery, then you'll get everything you want. Even if you're not such a fan of supernatural movies, I think you'll really enjoy this. So go ahead and check this out, and take that Expendables back down to your Redbox. That's it for this edition of 2 Guys and 3 Movies, brought to you by one guy and just 2 movies this week. You can check out my blog, allclick.blogspot.com. And up in the right-hand corner of my blog there, you will see links to previous editions of the show, where you can catch myself and the Film Geek talking about a whole bunch of other movies you should either go see or stay the heck away from.